A young woman sits, sobbing, in a beautiful ornate suite high above the market district of Oren. Her hands, elegant, covered in jewelry, cover her face as tears stream down. A short man, dressed to the nines, steps up to her, then kneels. My lady, they're here. Her sobs slow as she gains her composure. She looks at a table next to her where a piece of parchment with ancient rites inscribed upon it sits. She looks up at the trio in front of her. A gray-maned tabaxi resembling a mountain lion stands in front. She lifts her head and says, This is the calling card of the serial killer. Find him, and kill him. Hello and welcome to another adventure with Myths and Mystics. We are an actual play 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons podcast. To my right is Gerald Waldrop as Zarin, the Changeling Avenger.
Hail and well met.
Natasha Waldrop as Vanya, the Half-Drow Assassin.
Hello.
And Matt Murphy as Stone, the Human Mystic.
Hello.
And Human Ventriloquist as he's been mouthing...
We've done this a time or two.
Every single damn thing. I wonder how long we could have kept that game going.
Did you know I was going to say hello that time?
Yeah. How did he know?
Good guess.
How did he know?
I don't say it every time.
You should call her the cheery paladin. Or the cheery assassin, rather.
Vanya, the happy assassin. So thank you again for tuning in. For those of you tuning in on Twitch, thanks for supporting us on there. Spread the word. And for those of you listening to the podcast, we have all of Season 1 and Season 2. When does Season 2 end?
Right?
Never.
When does it end? We don't abide by normal laws of TV and radios
Society.
in general.
It's when we run out of that sponsor money.
Yikes.
Turns out season 2 was over a long time ago.
It's over now. Thanks for watching.
Been over since we started. But thank you for tuning in. Lots of stuff going on over at Myths and Mystics. If you want to keep up with everything that's going on, it's mythsandmystics.com. Tune in over there to catch up on any past episodes you might have missed. And friends, speaking of things that I missed y'all.
Yeah.
Aw, it's not true. I've been plotting this whole time, just
Good to be
planning.
missed.
I keep listening to the last episode, trying to figure out like how I could have killed you with that giant fishy monster thing.
You're the DM.
I should have multiplied
If you
them.
wanted to kill us, it's really within your power.
I should have multiplied them, especially since you became like Super Saiyan.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
Instead of
Yeah,
your
let's-
hair turning blonde, it's your beard turns blonde and spiky
And purple.
and purple. Yeah. So, friends, last time you did kill the giant fish creature that was chasing after you. You had procured the ancient artifact, the shield. You made your way back to the hub.
Right.
You caught up with Cujo and Patroclus, and of course Stone got to play Plinko to get some neat stuff.
Yeah.
So I want to go there now.
Mr. Chance.
That episode is over.
That's,
Done with.
I didn't want to miss our meeting with Patroclus. I was cool going back later. I was
Check out how I
was
got
okay
sweet
to wait.
stuff and didn't miss the meeting.
yeah. For those of you who were on the live stream last time, we might have had another. Sometimes children wake up
Roll for
and
children.
they look at the iPhone or iPad that they're using, and the screen's not on. Clearly, this is a case for a meltdown. It's normal behavior. So Natasha missed part of that. So where we're leaving off now is Patroclus had asked, when was the last time you'd seen Baron Liam?
Oh,
Yeah.
that guy. Didn't he like escape his house right before we got there?
Yes.
He was gone from the house when we went there.
He's the first one on the map of vengeance, right?
We have run into him recently at we happened to attend a fight. It was called short when someone burned down the facility and fighters were injured.
I can't imagine who might have done that.
It was terrible.
And you were in
Terrible.
attendance?
We did go there to watch the fight
To
that
watch
evening.
the fight. Yes.
But Baron Liam did show up. He had one of those awful titans with him, and
Now, I'm going to
Probably
stop you right there because the Titans, I don't think, are the problem here.
they seem like the problem.
They're quite impressive. And no,
Yes, so are sharks, but I don't mention going into the water with them.
Especially sharks that require the souls of 50 innocent people.
well, judging by your paper, it's more like 100.
Oh.
But
I stand corrected.
we're not getting rid of them at this point. Whatever damage was done to acquire them, the damage has been done. I'm not going to argue the ethics with anyone. That's for someone else. So here's the deal.
out.
Since there was no sign of him at his estate, I think our next best move from a Legion standpoint, seeing as we can't obviously question Corvitz any further, I'm going to go back on the tail of Baron Liam. So circle back with me at Orin at some point. I'll let you know what I find out on that end. I think for you, finding out who this Mara individual probably yield you some answers. So unless there's anything else, I take my leave. I take my leave.
Fare thee well.
Fare thee well indeed. And he leaves. And there goes Patroclus.
There it goes.
We set up a meeting to meet here at this time. Very inconvenient time as we were out to sea. Came all the way here to be told, I don't know who this is. If you find out, let me know.
I agree with your assessment.
I'm starting to wonder if they have anything competent happening at the Legion.
Well, they're pretty efficient at killing innocent people.
Yes.
Well, at least some of them were.
Hiring people to kill innocent people and acting like they don't.
I don't know. I don't believe Patroclus is really responsible for what happened. And I also believe that if he felt what happened was wrong, he could have had us arrested. So, on some level, I think he knows that the right thing is done. But he can't say
He's
it.
also unwilling to do anything about it.
He's willing to give us information to send us after the people who need justice.
If perhaps the person who he knows is in charge of it is above him, he may fear for his life. Where we may be able to handle ourselves.
Plausible deniability.
Listen,
Yes.
for now, I'm not comfortable carrying this shield around for eternity. Is there somewhere we could stash this that you feel comfortable with?
I thought we were going to the forest.
A temple, or the astral
Chamber.
chamber.
You're welcome.
I guess we should take it to them. I had thought of that as well. See if they can turn it into something that I would love to use.
I'll give you a third option. Is that you
Yes,
do
God.
I'm helping you out here.
I'm
You
praying.
also have the east wing of the hub.
Well, that's what I was suggesting while we were here. I was
Right.
thinking, do we want to stash it in like our
I got you.
room?
Yep.
I don't know, is it safe there?
I feel like we just come back and it's gone.
Right.
Right, I don't know.
It's
Where-
hard to imagine anywhere we could leave it that it wouldn't be gone, except for
All
those
right,
who work
I'll
divine
just
magic.
keep it.
Anyone powerful in magic may be able to put some sort of spell that can counteract divinations.
Cool.
I'm
All
so
right.
skilled
What
in
if-
Arcana, I know that.
What if someone could just make it so it still does awesome shit, but I can use it? Who would we talk to then?
Well, both of those
Same
conditions remain
people?
true. The problem is you don't know if it's going to kill you or corrupt you. And yes,
One of those I'm okay with.
the astral chamber, if there's any known way to purify or cleanse an item of evil, I'd imagine they might know. There's stores of ancient knowledge.
I did spend a short period with them when I was learning about my powers, I do know some people, typically out in the wilderness, that belong to that group.
Now, Stone, we're just based on what you had in your backstory. You didn't have exactly a pleasant exchange with them.
Right. Called them all dicks.
It was pretty close to that. Some of the things in there, like they were no use to you,
Yeah.
this, that, the other.
Yeah.
So,
Bunch of imbeciles.
So just an FYI there. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay.
Astral chamber then.
Yep.
Now, how are we going to find any information on this Mara?
Let us ponder that. Well, we do have at least the one lead. We were heading toward the burial site. Was it south when we kind of got rerouted?
Yeah, that was one of the options you had there.
All right.
I think if we head that way, we might be able to uncover some information. Unbury from the burial site.
So as it turns out, the burial site is directly between you, where you're at the hub, and where the astral chamber practices.
That's incredibly convenient.
As it turns out, I try to do so we're not wandering all over the map. Yep.
What's in this direction?
All right. Hey Siri, directions to the burial.
All right.
Let's go.
Who is this Oracle Siri you consult?
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have you, if everyone's ready to pack up and go.
No, I want to see Olmstis. Can we do
So
that?
we're going.
We're
We
gonna.
love saving them.
Yeah, don't you have like 3 of them?
No. Yes.
All right. How many
She can
would
do
you
it.
like
I
to
don't care
spend?
if she does.
I have 2 of them.
2. All right.
That's
So-
how many I have.
That's how many you have. Do you want to spend 2?
Is there something special I get for spending 2?
Two tries.
No. Then I'll wait until he has something cool like yes. Yes, I want to do it. I'm going to do it.
All right, let's make this quick. So the
Sweet.
3 of you walk down the hallway, and Olmstis looks like he is dusting everything with a very, very overly sized feather dust. He said, "Oh, well, you're back. Good to see you all again. Do you have more of those delicious King's notes?
Did you? Delicious.
They're very good. Have you tried one yet?
No.
What do you think I do with these things?
I don't want to know.
Well, that's for me to know, and maybe one day you to find out, all 3 of you simultaneously.
This sounds
Today's
foreboding.
not that day.
Today is not that day.
So who among you has a king's note? And he starts to point at and then he sees Vanya with 2 of them. He says, I wouldn't just go flashing those about. Come with me. And he's looking both ways.
We've had this talk with her before.
And he actually left the door open to his room, and he suddenly freaks out and he looks both ways again. He's like, quick, come with me. And you go into the room, and sure enough, the Plinko board is still there. And he says, it works very simply. You just place your Plinko chip up top.
D6.
You roll a D6 to see which one it falls in. So Vanya places the chip up top, and the chip bounces back and forth,
5.
and it settles in number 5. And this time, again, smoke shoots out. The door, or I should say the Plinko board, falls down, and there's a box the size of about a basketball sitting there. And he says, ooh, this one's very nice.
What's in the
You
box?
say this about every box.
And he
No idea.
picks up the box. He says, I'm going to miss this one. And he hands it to you. And Vanya opens up the top. And inside is a flute.
Oh, yay.
That was not the reaction I was expecting.
She wanted a multi-class bard, and this is kind of her opportunity.
Oh. Then I'm unlocking the path to Vanya's. Wait a second. You're getting a multi-class bard with an assassin.
Why not? I
You're
now
going-
have a wonderful
singing
flute to help
death.
me.
So she sings about all sorts of things dying that may or may not have been killed by her. Interesting. All right, we'll go with it. He says, this is no ordinary flute. Go ahead and give it a toot. And he's just got this real big smile as he hands it to you.
Okay, I'll
I
blow in
step
it.
back.
And as you blow a C minor, you start
multiple notes on your flute. Chords.
you start to elevate. And as soon as you do that, you fall back down to the ground. He says, no, you've ruined the song. Try it again, my lady. Try it one more time.
Okay.
Hold the note a little bit longer.
Okay.
And sure enough, she plays a sharp. Sure. And she again, as she's blowing this note, she
That's
is
right on.
levitating off the ground to about 3 feet off the floor. And as soon as you stop blowing into the flute, you drop back down. Ooh. As long as you're playing a tune, your feet will leave the floor. Isn't that something?
Yes.
It wasn't
Very
the
stealthy way to fly.
Wait, can I only go up to 3 feet?
in the air.
Okay.
It wasn't the intent, the desired outcome when I was making it. I was looking for more of like a flamethrower. I thought that would be a cool party trick.
You blow on it and flames shoot out.
Well, you'd play a song, a jolly tune, and fire would just erupt out of the front of
It'd be
your
handy
face.
to light those candles.
Yes, very handy. Again, you see the theme we're going with. Would you like to use your last king's note?
Well,
You got that really nice flute.
okay.
We literally have found nothing else to do with them in all of Edinburgh. So I'd say go for it.
So she again puts the Plinko chip in, it bounces down,
4.
and hits a 4.
A full gamut. He had rolled 2 and 3, and you got 4 and 5.
And the Plinko board falls down. Again, a poof of smoke comes out.
Wait. Basketball-sized box
It is a basketball-sized box.
in which there is party hat,
Party hat?
a kazoo,
You know what? Stop it.
There's a box sitting that says, "Oh,
confetti.
this
Oh,
one
that only
is
had one
very
charge.
nice.
Aw.
You're going to love this one." He walks over and he picks it up, and he walks over to Vanya. He hands her the box.
You've
about the size
got
of
quite a
basketball.
treasure there.
Quite a treasure. And you open the box, and inside is
Cake.
is a bag. It's a very decorative, festive bag.
Ooh, like a party bag.
It's
Like a birthday bag.
It's a party bag.
It's very colorful,
Get
and
dinosaurs on it.
it does have tissue paper coming out of it.
Like
And
perma. Oh, okay.
he says, "That is no ordinary party bag. The party you could have in there for about 10 minutes would be amazing until you run out of air because it's a bag of holding."
Oh.
Yes, I wanted one of these
Score.
for a shield.
Stone's looking at the two things you got.
I'm sorry,
so
but
excited.
I was so proud of the death balloon. I thought that was the damn coolest thing. I don't know
Hey.
what you will do with it.
Kind of very
Lorana
excited about
loved the death balloons, by the way. She was sitting there clapping over these balloons.
I was Hell Yeah released a new song, and it's the singer from Mudvayne.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of the song Death Balloons. It's a good song. I was like, what if D&D
Had death balloons.
had death balloons? So he says, I would explain to you what a bag of holding does, but I feel like you already know, and it's widely debated on Reddit. So if you want to find any other information, you can go over there and do a little Google search. Turn on your safe search.
No.
Or don't.
Now we just need a portable hole.
Big thing is that 64 cubic feet, and it's up to, 500 pounds? 500? 500?
Hunted.
500 pounds it can hold. And if you're in there, God, there's all kinds of rules about. I think it's about 10 minutes. I think you can last without air in there.
And it
And
looks
then
like a party bag.
It looks like a party bag.
Gosh, I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if anyone else wants to debate the physics of it, we're not doing that on this show. Much like all the other physics related things that we get into.
I think if you're listening to D&D, you can accept the bag of holding. It's a staple.
It's happening.
I'm going to open my bag of holding over to Stone. Can his shield fit in there?
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
You can carry the bag if you want to.
Divine
Okay.
that, you witch.
All right, so Stone slides the shield down in there, and just the very edge of your hand goes into the bag, and when you pull it out,
Something grabbed me.
half
Something touched me.
half of your hand is now bright orange. I'm sorry, it's just part of the deal.
What is wrong with Olmsted?
Not everything works quite the way
Wait
I
a
want.
minute.
I tried to make a flamethrower. It makes the flute makes you fly. Like I
I
can't.
put my other finger in there, and pull it out.
and it is bright pink.
Your shield is gonna be.
Start to move my face.
No,
towards-
Don't do it.
Trust me, you don't want to do that. You might end up like
Oh
me.
my gosh, that's so funny.
Wait a minute. I'm just gonna pull just a little corner of the shield back out.
It is bright baby blue.
Shit!
It's so awesome now.
And where your orange fingers went in just a little bit, they are now bright red. So they're bright red and orange.
This
And
is
he's-
going to be very awkward at the astral chamber.
You're telling me, now get out of my shop. And he pushes all three of you out, and the door slams behind you.
He's a very strong fellow.
We'll have to see how long these colors last.
Can you wipe that off?
Look, a bag! Put some shit in it! Like, no questions. Just,
Maybe you should have tested it out on something
yeah.
a little less.
Less artifacty.
From the guy who brought you such amazing artifacts as the immovable rod shake weight comes the bag of holding.
And changing your color.
Oh my goodness.
Okay,
All right.
we're going to want to wash this at the first water source we find.
Can you wash that off?
I don't know. It smells funny.
I wasn't going to go that far.
Well, don't put it in your mouth. Just spit or something.
Aren't you glad you didn't put your whole face in there?
You hear from behind the wall, muffled, it's like, it only changes color. It doesn't make anything smell funny. Your fingers just smell funny.
That's on you.
All right. After all that,
I can't give him a pink shield.
it's evil, I swear.
It's not pink, it's blue.
It's gonna be whatever the heck
Who
it
makes
wants.
a
by the
pink
time we get-
shield? Except from the most heinous minds.
Yeah. All right. I digress.
All right. So the three of you step back out in the hallway and make your way down, and you do see Cujo standing down there.
I'm sorry.
You.
Oh, is there something else you had there?
Can you scry something that's inside a bag of holding?
I don't know.
I mean, okay. Sorry, now we can go on. I wasn't sure.
In game, I don't know. I should not have that answer.
Oh, okay.
As far as like magical effects on what?
Yeah.
So the again, we're getting into the physics of the bag of holding. It's almost like its own extra dimensional plane, right? So effectively, no.
Unless you have divination magic that crosses planar boundaries.
Right. Yeah. That's a conversation for another day now, isn't it?
Forum Crashers, Tuesdays.
Send in your questions to mythsofmystics@gmail.com. Moving right along.
Cujo.
Cujo is standing down there and he says, hey, you boys, my lady, you all ready? You all set there? You get all your party favors?
Stone's putting his hands under his armpits.
What's with the pose?
How conspicuous.
Looking real GQ these days.
Yes, we
right.
are ready to go.
He says, okay, well, here's the deal. We ran some things around. We're talking to some folks. Right now, it sounds like probably your best bet is to follow through on whatever you're doing with that lady up there in Orem that you were talking to. The witch lady. What we're going to do is we're going to send someone up there to tail her, someone who's super sleuthy, very sneaky. So if she disappears off some way, he can follow her, see where she goes, that sort of thing. But when were you supposed to meet back up with her? What's that?
Was it tonight? Didn't we have till midnight? I think so.
So DM speaking here, yeah. She said
Tomorrow.
she said if to meet her the next night around the same time, because the guy had promised to bring the shield back. At which point she was going to task Zarin with procuring said shield. So, if you want to go on that witch hunt, I gotta quit using that expression. We can send someone up if you want, Taylor, that sort of thing. See what you can find out. Or if there's a different route you want to go, either way, makes no difference to me.
Will you be telling her either way?
And his eyes get kind of big as he looks off to the side. Maybe insight check.
Okay.
Yeah.
13 on my die.
Yeah, you get the hint that he's probably going to send someone up there to Taylor anyways.
We will think about it amongst other plans we must do by tonight. So,
All right. Well, sounds fine. Y'all, I guess, are you sticking around? You leaving? You leaving?
we will be leaving.
All right. Well, y'all have a good time out there. Thanks for all you do. I don't have another mission right off the rip, but surely next time you come around, we'll have something. We're gonna keep looking into things on our end. If we find anything about Halrek, anything like that,
Or Mara.
or Mara, one of the two, we'll get you squared away.
We'll stop back tomorrow or the day after.
Sounds good. Excellent.
And if not that, the day after that.
And if by chance you haven't seen us, then expect us probably the next day.
So what you're saying is, one of these days,
One of these days.
straight to the moon. All right, we'll see you, crazy kids.
See you
bye.
then.
Okay,
Very well.
good talk. All right, so the three of you step outside the hub.
All right. Let me just tell you something. I am not comfortable with going after the witch with this shield in our possession.
Right.
If anything should go wrong, we've literally brought her the object we wanted to prevent her from getting.
Right.
It must not go near her.
yes.
I've seen this movie before. It does not go well for us. So, bag of holding or not, I think we need to keep it and her as far from each other as possible.
As of right now, she does not think we have it.
Right.
She thinks her man in the blue coat has it.
My concern is that I don't know how she knew where it was in the first place. So,
And if she knows where it is right now.
right.
Yes. I might suggest you take on the form of this man and meet with her.
The blue cloaked man or this?
Yes, and let her know it sank to the bottom of the sea at the grippy jaws of some sort of squid creature.
What is my name?
It's Zarin.
No. In the blue cloak form.
The douche.
Oh.
Hello, witch lady. I am the douche.
Zarin.
I'm glad to see you again. No, I think that's a terrible way to go.
She would know your name. You don't have to reintroduce yourself. They worked together before.
All right, fair enough.
Yes. So that's something to consider. Are we going to stop at this burial site on the way?
But yes, I believe we should.
Very good. Let's continue to think on that plan as we head there.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and say, y'all get on your horses.
I will call my trusty steed.
No! Don't kill my horse!
This whole thing.
Yeah, gotta bring it back.
What is the name of your war horse?
Atreyu.
Trey. It's a fantastic name, but I've not named it. He hasn't earned his name yet.
Stompy.
Yes, you did.
Shadowfax.
Because I remember listening to it. We had talked. You had talked about Twilight because we were joking about My Little
Oh,
Pony.
'cause you were
named
watching
it.
Twilight?
That was a joke.
Yeah.
I thought you named it. Maybe he didn't.
Stompy. Stompy the war horse. Please.
Yes.
Please.
It's, well,
It's got
man.
big hoofs.
you know, sometimes you get a horse and you don't get to name it because it's already been someone else's horse.
Nah, I called this steed special.
All right. So you, a
Fosco.
plume of smoke and fog erupts out of space, and a unnamed horse, white as snow, tears out of it and
Oh, good.
rears
Snow
up.
White is here.
Snowball the war horse, and
I definitely should have named it.
Ah, good. Jism is here.
oh boy, there was.
Oh, we
There
went there.
was. And frothing at the mouth, he plops down in front of you. Zarin, you get up, and Stone, Vanya, you get on your horses, and you ride north. And you do have a basic knowledge of where the burial grounds are, but as you're riding north, I'm going to have the three of you roll a history check to see if you know whereabouts in said burial grounds it may be.
Oh, no. I bumped a die. Did you see what yours was?
Mine was a 15.
Okay.
You must have bumped mine too. I should reroll.
What? Well, mine bumped, so
What-
it wasn't
what-
a proper roll.
What did we roll there, friends?
15 total.
5.
History?
Yep.
I'm an 8.
All right.
4 and 4.
So as you ride north, you know that the old burial grounds are off to the northeast, and this is sort of kind of goes into a little bit of a bog, and then goes into the burial grounds. It's a large clearing, and there are these huge mounds of remains that have been buried almost in mass graves, sort of thing. But some of the more intricate, we'll say, well-to-do, wealthy, powerful folks might have had actual tombs in some of those mounds. And Zarin, you know that there's some areas of those burial grounds that even people that go out there just to check out the area, and I don't know what you do in burial grounds, shady things. There's some areas that are more ancient than others. So as you're traveling along and you're pushing up in that direction, the grass is still covered in a bit of a frost because it is very cold out. And you notice that in the distance, there's a faint trail of smoke coming up from one section of this burial ground area. And that is where we are going to cut to a break.
Hello, welcome to The Break. This is your favorite character, Harvey the Birdman, coming to you live from the Myths and Mystics studio. Yes, you haven't heard me yet on Season 2 because Matt Murphy's a dick. He has not yet once summoned his psionic spirit to talk to me and give me my rich, deep, sultry voice a chance to be heard on the airwaves, because he's a rat bastard. You can find out more about how stupid he is over at mythsandmystics.com. Why don't you head on over there and look at some artwork and leave us a message at mythsandmystics.gmail.net.com and tell us about Matt Murphy and how horrible he is. And while you're at it, get yourself a stack. Thanks for tuning in.
Welcome back from the break.
Yeah.
You made it. And hopefully you got a nice, like a string cheese. Like a...
Are we just going to gloss over everything you just said about me on that break? We're just going to push right on through?
that's,
For now, let's learn to cope.
That's usually how I just do things.
Great. Our commercial breaks are going to turn into passive-aggressive attacks on each other.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, I'm up next, so we'll see you next week.
It wasn't me, it was Harvey the Bird. Where is that stoned fellow giving him a piece of my mind?
I'm going to hold a grudge against this NPC the rest of this game. Yes.
Well, you're also the only person that can let him actually speak, unless he's doing a commercial. for nothing.
Modern technology.
Yep.
All
right. So where we left off, you had made your way to the burial grounds, and you noticed some smoke off in the distance.
There.
Faint trail.
Okay.
I say we investigate.
Sounds good.
All right. So, are you proceeding on horse?
Yes.
All right. So formation. I picture Zarin. You're taking point.
Zarin and Jism are out front, and then...
All right.
Zero.
Horse is not. that.
Say
you
something
even
loud
say it?
enough and often enough, people will accept it.
Yeah, I can see our downloader ship just dropping.
I think it's going up.
Can you imagine the
It's
t-shirts?
rising.
Can you imagine the t-shirts?
What's the
now?
name for a good white animal? Ghost. No, that's kind of taken. Lotus.
Name it Shadow, and it's ironic because he's white. I don't know. I got nothing. All right, so you're pushing forward, and you're kind of weaving your way around through these mounds. And can I get you all to roll a perception check, please?
Look at your numbers before I roll.
18.
Yep.
18,
Yeah.
15.
15.
And mine's an 11 on the die, which is going to be a 16.
Okay. Very nicely grouped. So you do, in fact, see sort of a makeshift dig site. You can see that, unfortunately, sort of a gruesome dig site. In the distance, this is probably a good 150 feet away. There is what looks to be like a small cook fire that has pretty much gone out, a faint trail of smoke that's going up. A couple bodies on the ground, and some dead horses.
I'd immediately draw out of my crossbow and
And
start looking cautiously to the trees.
Great sword.
there aren't really any trees around. The mounds, you're kind of in the middle of it's a big field with mounds.
Okay, when you say dig site, is this like there's excavation going on?
More or less.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you also said this is where wealthy families buried their loved
A
ones.
long time ago. These burial grounds aren't active. These are ancient.
Ancient burial
Right,
ground.
but
grounds.
does that look like what they were digging up?
Kind of hard to tell with the perception check that you've got. Although you do have, you can see
Gonna
that.
have to do better than that.
You're going to have to roll back. There are some barrels and crates, so it looks like someone had
Crate
been
and
set
barrel?
up. There's some crate and barrels. There were some lovely scented candles burning.
That was sponsor.
It looks like whoever was at this area has spent some time digging, to say the least. So they're unearthing something there.
Okay.
They
Continue
dug
on.
too deep.
Yeah, can we, continue investigating? I don't know if we roll for that or whatever. Yes.
Okay, so
I don't want to move past this. Do we want to keep looking or are we going to try
They're
and
gonna-
follow a trail?
Why are these bodies on the ground? What did them in?
Yeah, how fresh do they look?
Yeah.
you're too far away.
Let's
well, let's
go then.
just go closer.
Okay.
Okay, how
I
fresh do
assume
they
we were
look?
right on it. I mean, if we see the candles, I assume we were right there.
Do you take a hiding position, Vanya?
Okay, I'll stealth
All right. So
off my horse, I guess.
off the horse,
'Cause
and
I can't make my.
so
You get off the horse.
Stone and Zarin,
Oh my gosh.
I hop off my horse at one of these. Are we at the bodies?
you're 75 feet away. You have pushed forward.
Okay. I push forward some more.
I'm stealthing.
Jesus,
You're now
Lord,
70 feet away.
Yeah, I know. All right, you're playing this cool, but something's going to happen.
All right. So you get to the point where you're close enough where you can start to see more of the details, and
I start to pull out a balloon.
My stealth is 27, just so you know.
I will be
I'm
ready.
creeping up in the
If,
shadows.
Okay.
I'll be ready if an attacker comes near.
all right, you're all readied.
Right.
It's fantastic,
And I'm hiding.
phenomenal. You're hiding on the edge of one of the mounds, and you kind of circle your way around, and you can see that this mound, Vanya, with your vantage point, there is a they've carved a doorway into this mound, and it looks like there is a torch that was lit that was in that doorway that's been put out.
Oh, it's like that fresh.
Yes, like smoke is trailing out. And cutting over to Stone and Zarin as you approach, weapons drawn. As you're getting closer on foot, up on these bodies, they look somewhat familiar. Not necessarily the people, but sort of the uniform, the outfit. The dark leather armor that they're wearing is extremely reminiscent of the folks that were carting off bodies back on episode 2 of season 2, where those folks that killed their horse with the wagon. In fact, as you get closer, you can see on the other side of this mountain vine, you can see this from your vantage as well. One of those wagons is there that they had been carting around.
Oh, no.
They
Captives
made
in.
it.
Everything's gonna
I'll
be
try to
just
distract
till-
Vanya from
till
the
now.
horses.
Aren't they all dead
They're
already?
already dead. Someone's just shooting bolts into dead horses.
I'll
right
console
now.
Vanya.
All right,
I
so
am.
Someone is. I'd say it
Yeah,
was you.
right. Not Vanya.
All right.
so how long ago in game time was that? That wasn't months or weeks. That was days ago.
That was literally last night. So
The horse thing was the last night.
yeah, this is like an action-packed 24 hours.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
I thought maybe it was 2 days.
No, because you were sent on a mission to kill Corvets. You left. You saw the kid in the road that took you to the barn where all the people got abducted from. You followed that down.
To kill Fernandez.
right?
Fernando.
Please keep the name straight. Our listeners are probably having a hard enough time anyways. It was
Gotta
Fendez.
go back and listen.
Yeah, listen to the whole thing again because they don't get the name right on episode 1 either.
Purposely.
Yeah. So all of this has happened over the course of less than 24 hours.
Okay. So that being said,
Yep.
if we think we are recognizing these people and their equipment, then I'm much less comfortable with just walking forward. And this is like a hold, hand up, everybody stop.
It's like
Who saw this? Did I see this? Am I claiming the catch here and I didn't?
Sure. Yeah, you see it.
Okay. Yeah. So
How did they die?
yeah, what can we assess from the distance we're at?
Nothing more than what I've already told you. There's dead bodies. Fires have been put out.
Were they shot by arrows? Were they?
If you get closer, I'll tell you.
All right, you
Is
stay
there an
back.
arrow sticking out of the top of any of them from this distance?
It's too far. Maybe if you had binoculars. Yeah, you have binoculars?
No, but we have some
No,
great-
then you got to get
We
closer.
have some lovely balloons.
I'm gonna wait here and watch them ready.
All right, so Vanya's posted up.
I'm going to attach one of the balloons to the dead body to float it over to us so we can see it.
You'd have to go up there to attach.
All right, you literally did this in like 2 episodes ago where you put a gold coin in your hand and you're Mystic Hand.
I was thinking about doing it.
Just chuck it.
All right, so Stone and Zarin carefully approach. Carefully with readied actions. Does this make you feel better? I understand you don't
Yes.
trust me one bit. I understand the relationship that we have here. And that
Wait, you've tried to kill us in this last 24
Every game.
hours a few times.
many times.
And
And you've
every week.
you have killed me way more than I've killed you. To be fair.
That's true.
It is true.
Okay. So Stone, Zarin, you approach. Vanya is covering from a distance of about 35 feet,
Okay.
40 feet. Still good with that? Okay. So she's doing math. Is that, can I still sneak attack? Okay,
Yep.
Okay, we're good. And as you approach, this is for sure the same dark leather armor that those were wearing. And I'm going to keep the perception rolls from earlier. Zarin, you see that on the face of one of these, it's a half orc, and it looks as though there aren't really teeth per se, teeth marks, but it looks as though something had clamped down extremely hard on one of their faces, like on the side of it. And you start to get the chill down your spine, if you're capable of such things, of
I'm the one who knocks on doors.
of the demonic shadow creature that attacked you and bit you on your facial region.
Okay.
Face eater.
And I will be looking around quickly again at all the shadows.
Okay.
Killed by the shadow type creature that we encountered in the barn.
Or Florida man.
Florida man bites man in the face to
Hey, I
death.
saw it.
On your birthday.
All right.
I will pull out my relic of light.
Okay. So you have that, and I picture you kind of wrap it around your wrist, so it's very closely tied to you, but you can still use both hands for your greatsword.
Stone does the same with a death balloon.
All right.
Gives Zarin a nod.
Okay. You guys look really cool.
Zero.
Is his
This
hand
actually-
still multicolored? Just asking.
Is it fading at all?
It's still pretty bright.
Okay.
Okay. So I didn't think these were going to be actually something I would use at all, but I may actually find use for this.
Okay.
I could just tie it to a dead body and it floats off.
Yes.
That's the point. Okay.
And lo and behold, dead body is right before us.
I'm so into this. This is going down. I'm doing
Okay.
it.
You said 300 pounds, so he could put maybe 2.
I got
they're
a whole
smaller
bag of
bodies.
balloons, man.
I thought you only had 3.
The 300 balloons.
There's 3 bags. Or I'm sorry, there's 3 balloons
Yes,
in the
you
bag.
heard him.
There's 3 balloons in the bag.
Oh, I thought I heard 300 balloons.
I thought it was
Like-
a whole ton of balloons
Right.
too.
You were just gonna
There's
It's
three.
gonna have an army flying over.
So morbid.
There's three. I will decide later if I'm going to be generous enough to let them regenerate.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, it depends on how you use them.
it's like
All
the
right.
size of a weather balloon, or like a.
About the size of a basketball.
Okay. All right. No time like the present, I guess. I am thinking if this works, we might draw it out. Some sort of attention-getting.
Floating dead body.
Yeah.
Can you?
With a balloon.
Without
what color
asking
is the
if
balloon?
without asking if this is a good idea, I'm going to immediately get this balloon affixed and float this body. I'm going to pat it down. Is there anything useful on this body?
No, you don't find anything.
Leather armor. Did
find-
did
you find-
him a lot of good.
You you find 5 gold.
Yes.
Hey.
See, always check. And
I feel like they should be self-inflating.
As per the description.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So you do
tastes really bad.
and where are you affixing this balloon to? His belt, collar,
Yeah, like the back
Wrist.
of his belt, so his
back of
body's
belt loop?
Fold it in half.
Yeah.
All right. So you all watch in silence as Stone kneels down to this dead body, pushes him over, checks his back pocket, pulls out a wallet, finds 5 gold, slips that into his pocket, ties a balloon to his back belt loop, and sure enough,
Get back. Stand back.
his body starts to float up in the air. There it goes.
What color is
Hold
the
on.
balloon?
It's not just capping out. It just keeps going higher and higher and higher.
It's
No. It just goes to space.
Well, that's not exactly what I expected.
it floats up to 300 yards, and I will let you choose the color of the balloon.
All right.
It's black.
Okay.
These are black balloons.
The death balloons.
Yeah, it's no other color.
So it floats up, and roll a perception check.
Yes. I'm perceiving something. Hold on, I'm getting something.
Ew. there's-
No,
Crap.
wait, never mind.
It's gone. Where'd the balloon go? That was a 2. With my perception is a +5, so 7.
All right. So as you're watching this
Wait, I lost
body drift off, you hear someone in a very far distance go, "Is that a body?
There, Zarin, I heard someone.
The hell?" And they said, "Don't worry, I'm no one, just comedic relief. We'll see you next week on Myths and Mystics." And you don't notice anything. You notice nothing. You just sent a body off into the
You hear
stratosphere.
nothing.
No, but I'm watching around with my crossbow.
All right, so you've sent a body off into the stratosphere, and a whale is going to eat that balloon, possibly the body as well.
Probably choke on it.
A whale?
A whale.
Yeah, the one from Linkin Park music video that flies.
Yep.
Right.
All right, you're standing in front of this doorway and leading down.
Okay.
We descend into the depths.
There was another body, right?
There's
I'm kidding.
Maybe this one will go different.
Let's go.
Just keep it.
You wait.
Keep a hold of the balloon and push him forward in front of us.
No, you could do it with a horse too. It says up to 3. Well,
I don't
how
wanna
much do
derail
they
Dead
weigh?
horse.
horses weigh
More
a
than
ton.
300
Yeah,
pounds.
more than 300 pounds.
I don't want to derail this much longer, but
Any more of this? Are you derailed?
I'm picturing like 6 episodes from now, a body just shows up on a balloon.
I'm picturing the reviews for this. Everything was great until they spent half an hour talking about sending bodies.
Into the stratosphere.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, try it.
All right. So there is a torch that's been extinguished that's sitting there. Do you want to light torches and go down? Do you want to avoid it altogether? What do you want to do? Vanya is the only one who has dark vision.
Torch. Lighting a torch.
Yeah.
Descending.
I've got a torch.
If they're going to descend, I'm going to wait behind them for a little bit as like look out. See what happens before I descend after them.
Okay. So, Stone, Zarin, who's taking point? Zarin?
Yeah.
Okay. And you've got a torch in one hand?
Yeah. So I'll have my long sword in the other.
Perfect.
And shield.
All right. So, as you're descending, roll a perception check for me. I'm going to tell you what you're going to see anyways. See if you get any more. So,
Nice.
Get all my good rolls out of the way.
nice.
Right.
19 plus over 20.
All right. So you're descending down these stairs, and right now these are more of just earth that's been carved away that's digging down into this mound. And there's some very rudimentary wood beams that have been put up to keep the walls from caving in. Right now, all of this looks very much like just man carved out of a hill. And then suddenly, you're stepping on stone. Not stone.
Ouch.
Jesus, every time I say
Yeah.
Rock.
I gotta do it. Sorry.
back up a bit.
Corny joke code.
Yep. And it's all carved stone. And you notice that immediately as you step down, up above you on sort of the crest of the door there's an insignia of none other than Halrek.
Oh, that was easy.
Temple of Halrak.
That was incredibly easy.
Well, they were here for a reason. No coincidence indeed. Let's make our way deeper into this place of darkness.
All right.
Is there some sort of prayers you need to do before we enter places like this?
Yes. I'll do lots of prayers. I'll bless us, as a matter of fact.
I like it.
That. Does that do anything, or are you just like, that's a thing?
It's actually a spell. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I wasn't sure if you were using a spell or if you were just like, this is role play stuff.
I hit their foreheads. You're blessed.
He just did it to make Stone feel more comfortable with this idea.
It's like that never works. All right, moving along. So, as you descend, Vanya, are you joining at this point? You don't see anything out of the ordinary other than a body floating away.
So did we hear someone say something about that body?
Nah, I
Okay.
was being facetious. Sorry.
All right. So if I don't see anything, I don't know how much time has passed.
And call it 20 seconds.
Then I'm gonna wait a little bit longer because if something's gonna follow them, it's gonna wait longer.
Okay.
And I want to make sure. I mean, it was just newly put out torches. I want to make sure.
Okay. So go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
16.
It's quite the wind up.
Really, like,
Drum roll, please.
Like, holy, saw the whole like wave of them. Yeah.
Gerald, you ready? Matt? Everyone?
So glancing around, checking over your shoulder, you're even holding your breath a bit so you can hear better, and you don't notice anything that's approaching or in the area. And you turn your attention back towards the door. And we cut down to Zarin and Stone. You're descending now these hewn stone steps going down into what opens up into a bigger room. And with your torch, you hold it up. And this room is probably about 15 feet wide by about 40 feet long. And as you're looking around, Zarin in particular, you know that these are all glyphs from that era that Halrek would have been prominent. You can't necessarily tell what any of them say other than it's detailing stories of Halrek. At this point, reading them and learning about his history doesn't seem real exciting because there's also several dead bodies on the floor.
Oh, more of the same.
These, there are probably 8, 9 bodies total. 7 of them are going to be sort of commoners and rags, that sort of thing. People that look like they might have been abducted from the barn. And then there are 2 that are in dark leather armor. And there is blood everywhere.
Fresh.
Stone for a moment looks at a balloon and then puts it back in his pocket.
Can you use that hand of yours to take the torch forward ahead of us?
Which hand?
The one that can carry things floating.
Oh, yes. That one. Yes. I was thinking something of that nature might be a safe bet down here. So, yes, I will conjure up my mystic hand and take my torch. and
All right.
send it out. A little down the ways.
Perfect. All right. So it goes across the room, and the light dances across all these bodies as it passes above. And it gets to the end of the room, and it looks like there was some kind of ancient mechanism there for controlling another door, and the door is open, and it looks like it descends even further.
It's down the rabbit hole, I guess.
Let's see where this takes us. Are there no other exits for any direction? It's straight down.
Straight path.
Okay. We'll step through the bodies and head towards that.
These bodies dead from a similar wound from above, or does it look like they're cut up, or?
There are a couple that look like there's bite marks, but it looks like not as impactful. It's more slashing, clawing, that sort of thing.
Okay, like torn roughly from claws.
Right.
Not safe from arrows that we have to look
Correct.
out for, or bursts from the floor, or crushed from walls coming in from the sides. Okay.
Traps.
All right. So you make your way across the
We
floor,
descend.
and you step across the bodies very carefully. And as you get to the steps, you can see that there must have been some kind of booby traps, because there are several of the commoners that are now, as you're looking down the steps, that have been impaled on spears that look like they would have shot from the wall and retracted, but because the body's stuck on them, they're stuck in the wall.
The bodies are just stuck up against the wall,
And there's one, in fact, that you hear this thumping, and the spear is trying to retract back into the wall, and the body is just smacking into the wall.
That's terrible.
Oh, to be a DM. It's all homebrew, so I don't have an excuse. This is all out of here.
Can you smack something against the walls? Smack that torch against the walls and things to see if we can find out where all these traps are, so we don't end up skewered.
Yes, we do have the torch.
I mean, isn't it usually like pressure points on the ground? Can't you just throw John's hand down there or something?
You're going to think this is silly.
Been holding on to it for such an
Better
occasion.
safe than sorry, better silly than dead.
I am going to pull out another balloon,
Okay.
and I'm going to attach it to one of the bodies.
Okay.
Not the one that's thumping into the wall currently.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to let a little bit of air out the balloon so it doesn't just go up, but
Okay.
rather
Kinda
kind of floats a little.
Kind of skip across the floor kind of deal.
I bet 18 pounds of pressure will let you push that body forward quite easily.
Yes.
if it's floating.
So,
Well.
on the body,
Okay.
I'm trying to get... I don't want to lose the flame aspect of what we're doing.
Just
but-
hold the hand, or hold
Yeah,
the torch
here's what we're gonna do.
sideways
Here's what we're
and
gonna do.
punch the body forward.
Nope. Nope. Okay. I'm going to take this hand. Sorry, I'm going to take the torch. The body has floated up slightly. I'm going to put the torch in its hand and tie it with a piece of rope. Tear it off. And now, with my mystic hand, I will grab by the rope of the balloon and
Okay.
start sending.
There's a floating dead body holding a torch that's tied to it, floating, being pushed in front of us.
How many bodies can
Okay.
this carry?
300 pounds.
300 pounds? Two.
If they're small.
Yeah. Depends on if they're male or female. And
All right.
Arms.
I'm gonna just how much they weigh.
yeah.
Before I send it off, I'm gonna find another a light body. I'm gonna chop off half a body, and
You're making a face?
Yeah.
Episode 1, you cut up somebody and stuffed them into a
You're
crate.
the first one. You
Maybe
started all
that
this.
was a bad day.
I guess so.
I'm gonna hack off a few limbs just to make sure that.
Vanya
Well,
knows.
honestly, I don't want it. I don't want it completely light. I'm gonna go with just two full bodies. I'm gonna tie one about 10 feet under the other.
Okay.
So one's floating and the other is dragging.
To make sure all the traps go off.
Yes, I'm looking for floor and sensor traps.
All right.
And this is going to lead the way.
I have a feeling the balloon's not going to regenerate anymore.
This may be the last of the balloons. You got one more after this. All right. So you push the body on down that way, and it seems to be working like a charm. It's almost like a sick slinky. It's kind of down the stairs. It gets kind of hung up on one of the bodies that's already on the floor.
Please fan art this moment, someone. Thank you.
But then it skips over that and it's going down. And it gets all the way down towards the bottom. And you hear that telltale pressure plate clink. And then you see a spear shoot out the side. It pops the balloon.
No, it hits the bodies.
No.
The bodies fall to the floor.
Such a jerk about my things.
But the torch,
All my toys.
the torch lands there, and you can see it looks like that would have been about the last spot going down the steps that you have to worry about.
I will retrieve the torch with my mystic hand and just keep fire there. I don't want anything to catch fire, the balloon, anything. And I want to see where that trap was as we transcend.
Okay.
Descend.
So we saw where the traps were that were coming up.
Correct.
Okay.
And then we dance over all of them.
Wait. Where's Vanya?
We're going to come back to Vanya
Way up
here in
there.
just a second.
All right. Well, I don't want to go through the traps, and then she gets down here and she's like, "They must have went this way." Just dead on the way
You
down.
want to run up and speak to her?
Give her the old telepathic connection.
I mean, y'all could just old-fashioned holler at me.
No, that sounds very dangerous.
Oh.
Do you know sign language?
You have an ability that lets you communicate with your minds.
I have to see them.
Right. Are you just going to yell up?
With his hands.
No. I was saying I could, without having wasted all the
Okay.
sneaking, I could just send the hand. I'll go back.
And, well, if you're
Okay.
sneaking over, I'll run out and let her know, like, "Hey, traps," and then come back.
Okay.
Okay. So
There
that's
we go.
been communicated. You still don't see anything changed? You're on lookout still?
I'll head in.
Okay.
I've waited a while, I think.
I think once you start descending this deep, it's kind of a keep the party together type of plan.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So the three of you press on down,
We'll show where the traps are.
Yep. and you step down,
Please, I can just float with my flute.
and
They'll never hear us coming.
what song do you play? Hot Cross
She
Buns.
said A sharp, man.
Oh
Hot
my
Cross. All right. So you step down into this room, and this opens up into a large, massive underground chamber. With it looks to be Vanya. You can see this from your perspective. I'm gonna have you all roll perception here in a quick second, but there are several tall pillars in this room. And it seems like almost sort of like an old sacred temple. But Zarin, from what you can tell, there's all kinds of glyphs that all indicate this is the tomb of Halrak.
The tomb of Halra.
Okay.
I'm gonna have you all roll perception.
Why are you laughing?
What?
Because if the jerk wouldn't have destroyed my balloon, the view from inside would be hilarious. Just this balloon floats in with bodies. This is a great
Vanya
visual.
missed it all. 12.
12? Okay.
I
I
rolled a
didn't
12
get to
plus
see the
5,
body.
17.
This is what, perception?
Yep.
I guess both of them.
14 plus 5 is 19.
All right. So as you get down there, Vanya, you're checking around for immediate threats, and you can see a much clearer definition with your dark vision. And the thing that instantly catches you is just past the torchlight. It seems as though there are dozens and dozens and dozens of figures all facing forward. And they all seem to be kind of kneeled down in some kind of position. Zarin and Stone, with your perception check, you can see on the floor, much clearer in the torchlight, is that there is trails of blood and claw marks kind of dug through the dust and dirt on the floor that's kind of built up on the stones there, all drug up towards the front of the room.
I'm going to say something. I just don't know what to say right now. Watch out. Stay. Hold. Halt. Halt.
And the three of you hear a
Halt.
faint sound from the front of the room. And I'm going to try my best here. It's something like a... And it's echoing through this whole room.
Vanya's gonna start walking backwards.
Backwards.
There
Ducking underneath the
yes.
spear.
There are
I'm gonna grab
dozens
her.
of them. I tell you.
Stay here.
Did you hear what she said?
There are dozens.
Dozens of what? I'm gonna go psionic with this conversation.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
I mean, if he's in my head, can he like see them? If I just like focus on the image, can he see what I saw?
point.
It's
No.
communication only.
It's verbal.
Yeah.
Figures.
Is she looking at statues or are these moving things?
I can't. He didn't say.
she
He
not-
couldn't.
she
I
might
can
not
tell.
know.
Just figures that are kneeling down towards the front. Facing towards the front.
Okay.
Is that what you tell me you see?
And the three of you, no one can see towards the very front of the room. It's just outside your field of vision right now.
Wait, so we're at the back of the room. They're not facing us.
Correct.
I'm not sure they know. We are here. They are not looking at us. I'm ready to.
I'm
Yeah,
wondering.
well-
I'm wondering if they're statues. I don't know.
Or either that or worshippers.
Yeah.
Either way, we
Or
smash them.
statues that come to life.
That would be a little bit scarier.
I have one.
Quit giving the DM ideas.
One
You say that
balloon
almost every
left.
episode.
One balloon left.
You can just move the torch out with your hand. You don't need to balloon it.
I mean, a body's better than. I'm either thinking I send the torch in, but people are gonna see a floating torch, or I send the mystic hand in and try to see what's going on. But it is dark and I won't have light up there, so I'm kind of torn with what.
Well, we were already holding a torch, so I mean, even though it only illuminates out like 60 feet, that you can see it from hundreds of feet away. So if we draw their attention, we draw their attention, whether we get the torch closer to them or not.
You could send your very sneaky character up
Yeah.
to one of these pillars to get a closer look.
Delve it, you drow cowardice.
Okay.
All right, roll me a stealth check.
Ooh.
What'd you roll?
25?
17 on the die.
How many?
25 stealth.
25. And you've got this look like, oh, God, he's going to kill me. That's a really good roll. All right, so
So nothing can
I
hear
can't
me or
even-
see me.
Great, including my telepathy now.
so
Where'd she go?
Vanya drops down and moves, I would say like a shadow across the floor, but virtually invisible as she gets up to one of the pillars. And she pushes up against it and leans around the edge. And now that you're much closer with your dark vision, you can see their jagged angle cuts around this figure. And it does indeed look like a very crude statue. The statue is of something humanoid. It looks like it had to have come from a different time era altogether, because it's a very, like the modern art that you have, even the stuff that's been left over through the ruins and everything else, has much more refined sort of artistic sense. This looks like it was carved in a hurry, but it is humanoid, 2 arms, 2 legs, some sort of head that's kind of angled down, almost like cattle. And they seem to be holding various things like spears, swords, but they're very roughly hewn. From there, kind of shifting around and looking down the rows of them, there's probably easily at least 100 of these things in this room. And this room is massive. These pillars go up probably 45 feet up in the air, to the point where you can't even really see the details of the ceiling. But as you bring your gaze back down and you're shifting around, now that you know that these things aren't alive, if you will, you look a little bit further down, and at the very center of the room, there's a faint torchlight that's burning up at the front. and one of those sharp angled figures, the demonic figure that you saw in the barn, is hunched over something up in the front, and it's making this god awful sound, and you suddenly see that there's a glimmer of light in its eyes, and it looks up. That's where we're going to end this week's episode on Myths and Mystics. Thank you for tuning in. We love you. We'll see you next time.